What was that?
Community comments?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay, we'll start up front then.
My name's Vincent Larry. I've been in the past very active with the community. My wife and I have our name on the brass plaque on the community club when we were working with Peggy Fate and Larry Jones and building that. Our name's on the horse corral. I was a member of the Lions Club until I got chewed out by Fred Fate, and then I told him where he could shove his Lions Club. The reason I'm here tonight is I spent approximately $1,200 working with Ed Weissman at the time, I think it was, in starting the teen dance. When my wife and I started the teen dance, we had set it up for up to 20-year-olds to show up. The idea was 20-year-olds didn't have anywhere to go, and the idea was to get them to be chaperones, so the kids would look up to them. We wanted to get the kids in the community, our Palmdale, our Aqua Dulce, that had bands to play their instruments there for the kids, and the kids could dance. When we started the thing, we had 2 18-year-olds show up. I had a lady from the Mormons raise Cain with the town council that we allowed 18-year-olds there. The 2 18-year-olds were leaving when we told them, look, we're old people. These young kids don't want to listen to us. You're chaperones, you can show them the new dances, you can keep them from going out in the weeds and doing other things. We would appreciate it if you would stay. That was the reason for them to stay. And it worked out real nice. We had a real good dance. Finally, Whitney Newsman took over as the president of the community club and ran that teen dance for about 5 years. They started earning money because the kids would buy pizza and a drink, the bands would get to play, and we knew where our kids were on Saturday and Sunday nights. Wendy used to chase them out in the fields and pull them out of the weeds. They would throw water balloons at Wendy. She was like another mother to them. Wendy decided that she was going to leave the community, and some lady, I don't know why she was allowed to take it over, but some lady from Thousand Trails, living in a trailer, was used to attend the meeting trying to tell us how to spend our tax money, took it over. All the money that was in the kitty for the kids disappeared, and the teen dance came to an end. Now, Wendy finally got down to where she'd make the parents sign their kids in and sign them out when they come to pick them up. That way the kids had to stay there, and we knew where they were at. It was one of the best things we had for this community, and I'm really upset with the fact that it's been allowed to disappear. The reason Fred Fate was mad at me, he never wanted a teen dance for the kids. And to me, it was just the Lions Club became nothing but a drinking club, and I didn't care to be in it anymore.
So this is probably before my time.
Yeah.
This was hosted by the Women's Club?
No, community club.
By the Community Club.
By the community club?
The Acton Community Club.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The other thing I wanted to bring up is, you know, it seems you got to have more power than I thought in doing things. Parks and Recreation won't listen to one person. They have Apollo Lake, which is a put and take lake for trout. The only time you can fish there is during the winter when there's trout. In the summer they don't plan it with trout.
They won't survive.
They say they put catfish in there, but they don't. So there's nowhere for these kids or seniors like myself to go fishing during the summer. I have begged them to put crappie and bluegill and a couple catfish and maybe some bass to get it started. Fishing Game would do it for free, but they don't want to listen to anybody. Instead, what we have is we have a place where everybody dumps off their ducks and geese they no longer want. The water is so filthy and stinks so bad, nobody would probably want to eat a fish out of there anyhow now. And Parks and Recreation isn't doing anything to clean that up. There is one fish, though, that would clean that water up for them, and that's a tilapia. Because in the fish farms, they use the tilapia to clean up all the feces in the water so it doesn't go stagnant when they're raising other fish for market. These are all fish that would be put in there by Fishing Game for free. if we could just get them to listen to us and make it a place for our kids to go during the summer to fish. But they won't listen to one person. So that's why I came down tonight to voice the two things that what I would really like to see, and we used to do it, when we volunteered down there at the community club, we used to get contractors to do things for us for free. And you know, then we had everybody there for 4th of July because we didn't want kids getting busted legs or getting bit by dogs or running into a barbed wire fence that they didn't see. So we'd have a party down there where we had the sand pile or the sawdust pile with money in it and candy and stuff. We had the grease pole. I mean, we used to do a lot of stuff down there, and it would keep the kids a nice place to go on 4th of July instead of going out and maybe causing some vandalism or something else. I don't know if they still do that now because I haven't been down there in a while.
Yeah. So.
But what I was going to say was, I would like to see and this is going to benefit every person in Acton. If we could get permission out there in that drainage that we have, that riverbed, and put in a little lake of our own with fish in it, that water would recirculate into the water table, which would have everybody's well around this area. And if we had to get volunteers to help us do it, maybe with a little caterpillar or something, and somebody come out there with a little gunite, shoot 1 inch of gunite so the water can leach through the gunite slowly and go into the water table. And Fish and Game would stock it for free. But it's all about giving something for our kids. I mean, it's not every kid wants to ride a horse. And the other things I heard were they wanted staging areas for Sunland and for Chatsworth and Simi Valley to come over here and drink and party in a staging area and then have their kids chasing our kids and riding on our trails. I wasn't for that. But not all the kids ride horses, and even the ones that do still like to fish and camp. So these are the 3 things. If you guys want to get on board and try to do something about it, I would appreciate it. I just wanted to voice it to you because I like you say, it's been quite a while since we've had the team dance.
Yeah. Well, we can, I'll tell you what, I mean, we don't have as much power as you probably just gave us, but I mean, we could agendize some of these things, like the Apollo Lake, and decide if this council wants to write a letter to Parks and Rec to get that thing cleaned up and say, hey, there's a lot of people in this community that would use it, and that may be helpful. Kelly here is part of the community club, and so are you. Right? So you've got 2 members right here. So you might want to think about making pitching that back to the community center again. I know that the park and Friends of Acton Park have maybe stolen away some of that or moved some of that interest over with movie night and that kind of thing. But you know, it sounds like good stuff. But I appreciate you coming in and sharing your ideas and your concerns. But I think, you know, the Apollo Lake and the fishing, you're right about that, because the only other place we have is fishing, is Fin and Feather, and that's, you know, that costs money. So a lot of people can't afford to be members there.
That's like a $600 membership.
For Acton, it's not too bad. It's like the further you get away from the jurisdiction, the more expensive it gets, but it is beyond what some people can do. So,
but like I said, just more voices I can get behind some of this stuff, the better, because I can't do it by myself.
Well, I remember the dances were very successful back then. My kids went. My kids did.
I'm glad you remember them.
It was good.
Yeah. And that's what the community center is for.
Yes. It's supposed to be for the kids, that's right.
That's right. Other community comments?
You know, one other thing might I ask, you know, even if nothing else, if we use soft wheels, we could have a roller skate night up there for kids to roller skate in that building.
Inside?
That's what we built it for the community to use it, you know.
Yes.
On the way over, I got a phone call from Southern California Edison. It was a tape recording, and it's the second one I've gotten this week about possible electrical shutoff for the Acton area due to high winds and the fire danger. And they said they haven't done anything yet, but they're looking at it. So if you have a backup, you should start your backup plan. My question is, has you guys heard anything? And what is their criteria for going into emergency mode? Because right now the humidity is low, but the winds are only 18 miles an hour.
I don't think the wind event started that what they thought it was going to be.
Well, the criteria is unclear too. I don't think they've given us any real criteria. By the way, the first information we got on that came from Chuck, and thank you for forwarding
I
that.
think they should have been sending stuff, because they told us that they'd sent out notices to residents, but I decided to send those out too, just in case people
Yeah.
didn't get their notices.
Thank you, no, we didn't get a notice.
I didn't get a
We're in
notice.
that
Okay.
area,
And
yeah.
the last time they did the shut-offs for these last 2 times they worked, I called my councilman, I called and my supervisor. They had to bring a generator over to my house, provide me electricity so I could breathe. And they're not even addressing that. They don't care if I live or die. Only when I go and call supervisor, did I get any help?
Well, this wasn't even for,
This
because
was
we
not
had
for
that call
maintenance.
for last couple days ago, last Friday. But no, this is a general shutdown due to the weather conditions, and I wish they would tell us, because we went and looked, and you're looking at a portable, a secondary generator is $12,000 to $13,000. And so, I mean,
Well-
do you take that major financial step and then only use it once in 5 years?
And you're not allowed to do that anyhow, because you have to put in an electrical backfeed to where
Well,
you can't
you have
backfeed
a-
into the electric.
Yeah, you have a switch. that-
You have to have that put in by
Yeah.
contractor.
So let me just, for a moment, when 4 weeks ago, when Edison was here talking, they said, we're here so you guys can prepare. Never in my wildest dreams did I believe that 4 weeks later, they were gonna be telling us we're gonna get shut-offs.
Right.
I maybe naively assumed that they were telling this us for next year. Now, yes, to put a backup generator, and my wife wrote a letter to Senator, to Lackey and to Wilk, and also to the county, saying that, you know, to put a generator, first of all, is something most people have to budget to purchase.
Oh, yeah.
Second, you need a professional electrician to install it.
Which they-
And third, you need to go through the permit process, because it's gonna have to get tied into your system, and you're gonna need a disconnect. And there's no way that LA County, Chuck, is going to get somebody executed through the whole permit process in 4 weeks.
No.
I bought a $400 generator at Harbor Freight, because my mother-in-law's
Right.
on oxygen, and so if we lose it in Central Palmdale, and her place is out, then we can bring it over to my house. So that's, I
You know,
don't need any permits for that.
Right, for those of us that are on wells that are really concerned that when they shut the electricity grid down during the highest fire risk, and if there is a fire, we're SOL because we don't have any water pressure.
What good is your fire sprinkler system you put in?
And the fire sprinkler system mandated by the county in the home isn't gonna work either.
And how many people do you have in Acton that are on option? I know you got quite a few.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, now, for people on oxygen and that kind of thing, small portable generator will take care of that. Small portable generator will take care of your refrigerator, and I think Edison will supply those to you if you make contact.
And the other thing is, I went with solar, and I was gonna go off grid. I didn't want no more of Edison, and they won't let that. They won't let you get the permits, and they will not let you do it.
Well, the problem too is I drew a line of thought. It's funny, it's the only thing up there, do you think I'd keep hold of it? Is the, oh, go on, I'll come up with it.
Don't feel
I've
bad.
been living here, I feel pretty dumb, because I've been living here for 13 years. I've been paying 60 cents a kilowatt hour for electricity for 13 years. I've banked enough money to put in a full solar system with the most sophisticated battery storage system you can buy, and have money for my kids' braces. Okay, all that's been spent on Edison comparatively to other, to Arizona, for instance, 12 cents a kilowatt hour. Nevada, 15 cents a kilowatt hour. Los Angeles County, up to 67 cents a kilowatt hour. So we've all been duped,
Well,
and now we're not even gonna get the services that we banked into. So,
And it's even worse, the thought I had before was the fact that Newsom just gave them an early Christmas present with signing that bill. where
Right, they're gonna
They're
bail
gonna
them out.
extend it for 15 more years, so they'll have $41 billion to cover any losses, yet they're still gonna shut down our.
so,
Without even, the thing that gets me is I could understand it if there was criteria and I could see it, but this, you're at their mercy, at their whim, and that's what irritates the hell out of me is give me a reason, the criteria I'm looking at before you do it, so I can make a decision whether I take our our savings and invest it, because, you know, with horses and stuff, so we're now looking at a plug-in system for the smaller generator, which will be 1/3 the price, but it's still a big budgeted item.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the huge concern.
If you get old, you know, if you get old and you're sick and you're trying to lift up and carry out a generator, you got a bad heart and can't breathe, and then who's gonna go get gas when my wife can't drive? Because of the problems that she has.
And the gas pumps will be out.
Oh,
And the gas pumps will be out. I mean, they've gotta make some arrangements.
The area that they say they're gonna shut off goes right across the freeway. So our freeway services are gonna be
And I
powerless
wasn't
as
what part of
well.
Acton, because the phone call just said, we are looking to shut the electricities off for Acton, the Acton area.
I haven't heard these phone numbers, do they say the name of a circuit, because the notices they send us say the name of the circuit, like,
Right.
so they've got a map, I think I've sent you guys
You did
a
send
link
me
to the map. Well, there's an Edison page that shows where all those maps are, everyone in like Southern California, but. yeah,
There's no indication, they just
Okay.
left it as the Acton area. We haven't done it yet,
Yeah,
but we
'cause
are looking to.
Last
The
week
reason
they
they
said
wanna do
bootlegger-
that is because they don't wanna spend the money to get under these lines and cut these weeds down.
Yeah.
And that's their responsibility.
Yeah. So I would suggest anybody with concerns about losing their power during fire season, the wildfire thing
Oh, yeah.
that Tom Lack is putting on,
Scott Wells.
check that thing out and send Tom Lackey an email and Wilk as well, and the Senator Barton.
It's
Were we
next
going to try to bring,
Next Monday.
Southern California back?
Yeah, we're gonna bring them back, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So,
Did it say a date, Don?
No,
Or it was just general?
it was,
They usually say as early as that first one I sent out, I think said July 14th, which was
Sunday.
Sunday.
It was
And then
Sunday.
apparently there was another one Sunday night for the Quartz Hill area that I didn't get until today that said as early as July 17th. So they use, I mean, that's the notice they get us, and I assume that they were saying similar things on the phone, but.
okay.
Isn't there some way we can respond in a more unified voice to, because it seems to me that our best point that's community-wide is that they're gonna shut off the power to our county mandated fire suppression systems.
That's right.
And that's gonna
Yes.
affect everybody.
They're putting everybody's house in danger.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we just found out about this 4 weeks ago, when it was kind of dropped on us. Doing some research, apparently a year ago, the Malibu area was told the same thing, and I haven't had time to research how it ended up in Malibu. Maybe Chuck knows. Did they
Well,
continue forward?
I thought that they had put out a notice, and I thought I'd sent it out last year, because they didn't give any shutdown warnings for the Acton area, but they had this process where they said, we might be telling people when to shut down, because last fall, there were a number that went out that I ran across, but they're all for the Santa Clarita area. None of them were up there, that was last fall that they sent those out. And Malibu, of course, that was, the power lines were blamed for the, whatever,
Right.
the Simi Valley to Malibu fire, and yeah.
Lily?
I too got one of those calls, only they got me lunch in Santa Clarita, and it was another one of those, we just wanna let you know that, you know, this might happen, no specific dates or.
Didn't say
anything
as
like
early
that,
as July
and
14th, didn't say
just
no.
Get your plan prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically, they wanna put the responsibility on us instead of
Right.
them doing the right thing. But just to goes to show you how, efficient they are, I got a notice last week that my power was going, at my home, was going to be shut off for maintenance on last Friday.
Yeah, same here.
And on Sunday, and they never it never happened, but on Sunday, I got a call saying that the shut-off plan for that Friday was not needed and therefore it didn't happen. Well, you know, don't tell me 2 days later what I already know. I mean, I don't think they know what they're doing.
They expect us to be on 24-hour watch at their whim.
That's right. It's
The other thing
ridiculous.
about
Yeah, we're all at home every day, all day long.
Right. And you try to plan for it the best you can, and then it doesn't happen. Okay. Any other community comments?
I was just gonna say, our fire is now, 24/7. I mean, that's our season is all year long. So I think what they were trying to do is do a Band-Aid fix on the Santa Ana winds combined with triple digits that caused all the issues with the Woolsey fire and all of that. It just is not that good plan.
Brandon?
Go ahead.
So just want to give 2 updates from Assemblyman Tom Lackey's office. First being the Women's Self-Defense Seminar. That's going to be July 23rd. It's hosted by Assemblyman Lackey and in collaboration with Antelope Valley Partners for Health and Acton Karate. It's pretty much for women. It's to teach how to defend against domestic violence, anything of that sort. If you know anyone that's interested in coming, please feel free to give our office a call. We're more than happy to make an RSVP, have you guys out there. It's 6 to 8 o'clock in Lancaster at ABPH. Flyers are going to be in the back. The second one, as Tom mentioned, the Wildfire Town Hall. This one's going to be in collaboration with Supervisor Barger's office, Senator Wilk's office, Assemblyman Lackey's office, Los Angeles County Fire, Los Angeles County Sheriffs, and I believe Southern California Edison will also be there. That's going to be down in Santa Clarita on Monday, July 22nd, 6 to 8 p.m. This one, Edison will be there to break down a lot of the reasoning behind the early warning response systems that you guys are talking about, as well as hopefully explain a little bit more about the shutoffs in general. LA County Fire will be there to explain just backup plans, how to prepare things along that, as well as both state representatives and the county will be there if you have any questions or concerns.
One question I want to ask you.
Yes, sir.
First off, everybody that's on well has a storage tank and they're providing a certain amount of water for fire trucks to pump that out of their tank so they can try to protect their dwelling. If they have no electricity, you gotta depend on the fire trucks to come and pump it. They don't have enough fire trucks for most of the houses around here to try to protect them all. But the other thing they're not thinking about is when they shut that water off, that county water goes off. They have no water for fighting fire for all the people that live downtown Acton, for all the people that live in the new developments that were on county water. There is no water. I put a fire sprinkler system in my house, and I have to fight with LA County to give me enough water pressure for it to operate. And if they turn this water off, we have no fire protection at all. And how are they going to get the water? Gravity feed?
Trust me, I completely understand. We've had people write in about it. We've had calls.
So they're putting every business here in jeopardy. They're putting every house that isn't on well water because they have no storage water.
I understand, and that's one of the reasons we're hosting the town hall, so hopefully we can get all the ideas, all the points of view, everything that Edison, Fire Department, and the county are all doing.
Before you leave, I want those dates.
Definitely. Thank you, guys.
All right, so I'm gonna close community comments. And Kelly said minutes we're gonna just table to next meeting?
Yep. Okay.
That's good. Okay, announcements and correspondence?
I don't have any.
Well, you don't read the headaches I
I wasn't any in the mail today from the county.
Okay. We did get some correspondence from Jackie from Canada on her vacation, and we talked about the drive-through prohibition in Acton, how it's going in front of the Board of Supervisors for an amendment to clarify the language. It's already gone through regional planning?
No, it's
No,
going to
this is
plan.
regional plan.
Okay, go in front of the planning commission, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Which one? What are you talking about?
The drive-through prohibition. And the
definition.
staff report was finally posted, and I brought a copy of it, if anybody's interested in looking at it. It really doesn't change anything, the best of, that I can see for us. They do talk about the 4 existing drive-throughs that are there, being considered as not new. And they talk about what happens when the use sunsets and when the building sunsets. But none of it really seemed to change what's gonna happen for us here.
No.
Is that
So-
online? Is that?
Yeah, that's online now.
I'm sorry, is that the staff report?
That is
Yes,
staff
staff
report.
report.
That's available online?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what would you go online and get? Regional planning, go to
Yeah.
Department of Regional Planning.
Oh, regional planning? Okay.
Yeah,
What do they want?
It's for the drive-throughs.
for the drive-throughs. So,
What do we need to decide? We need to decide, I mean, we don't need to, we just need to say we approve it.
yeah, so I think on this letter that Jackie wrote, just email her back and if you have any changes or suggestions. If not, it looks like Jeremiah's ready to send it.
Okay?
So, isn't there meeting tomorrow, Kelly?
No, Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
Yeah, and I can't go on Wednesday for sure. My grandson's having surgery on Wednesday.
Okay,
So-
do we need to attend? That's what
It
I don't think so.
doesn't seem like it. I think, Jack, we'd like to get this on the record before
Okay,
the hearing.
okay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a position, it just clarifies about the 20-year non-conforming of the building.
Okay, so Jeremiah's ready to sign this?
I believe so.
He's on vacation too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if he can, I will, as
Okay.
long as we get enough approvals on it.
Okay.
Okay, so what do we
go
need to
home,
do?
I can't answer that.
Well, Jackie approves it,
I do?
she wrote it, so we've got 3
I'm
here.
fine.
And then I'll check with Jeremiah, so we've got 1, 2,
3, 4 of us.
4 out of 7, is that right? 4 out of 6?
4 out of 6.
4 out of 6, okay.
Okay, so
We got what we
we
need.
got it.
So I'll tell Jeremiah that, he's ready to
Okay.
send it, if he can't manage it, we'll do it, I'll do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't hear half of what you're
I'm
saying.
sorry.
You guys are mumbling.
Oh, I'm
We are
sorry.
mumbling up here.
Yeah.
We're mumbling?
So, you can have this is a draft copy.
Oh, I want to.
Oh, Pam still wants to read it, but it's a draft copy.
sorry.
Of what Jackie wrote in response to the staff report for the drive-thrus.
And she just wants us to get it on the record, that's all.
Because we just got the staff report.
Yeah.
This all happened about an hour before the meeting. So we look confused, it's because we are.
The drive-throughs? Yeah.
Yes.
I get a kick out of that one, you know, like the McDonald's guy come down to the town council, was telling the community how he was gonna be members of this community and everything. And right away, he charges more money for his food over there than they do in town. It's
Well-
because he's got the freeway there and he drags all kinds of traffic off that freeway.
McDonald's they are part of the community, they've been here a long time.
I'll read that.
Well
You can have it if you want.
Well before the prohibition, so.
Yeah,
and
I
they've been,
wonder if they need to
they've been
read
good neighbors.
Or maybe I
They've
can
helped out
ask,
a lot.
maybe I can ask,
You wanna read this right now?
yeah,
Oh,
if you'll.
Okay, any
Can you
announcements?
make us a copy?
I don't have any now.
Okay, we'll move on then.
No, I think everything that,
Yeah. No, he's gonna make me a copy.
And we'll take a copy.
So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Alright.
I'll just make a motion.
Okay. So you're gonna take care of that with
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, council member comments, Pam?
The only comment I have is that I'm continuing to work on the directional signs around town. I've gotten a bunch of phone calls again this last 2 weeks. Most of the realtors are cooperative and will take them down. We still have the one resident realtor who refuses to take his down, and they are in the road right away. I got a call from a resident who said that his 16-year-old daughter, and I think I already told you this, was nearly hit because she pulled out, I believe it was onto Escondido where there's 2 signs, and she was almost broadsided because she couldn't see around the directional signs. So I would like permission to call the county. And I think we discussed this last time,
Yeah, I
but it
think-
got a little bit more agitated this week too, so. I
I
guess.
think you should, yeah,
I mean, you can call in as
Yes.
Pam Bolter Realtor.
Yeah,
or you
yeah,
Yes.
I can do that.
Yeah.
absolutely.
That'd be great.
You know, I get a kick out of watching this intersection down here. I used to sit over here in the corner with my hot rods for sale. And I watch the townspeople and what they do. And they come speeding down, they run the stop sign with horse trailers. I'm surprised they don't break the legs of their horses. You know, and I sit there and watch this all the time. I almost see an accident every time I sit down there. And that one highway patrolman on his way home, he pulls off the freeway and stops for a second. And every time he stops, he writes 1 ticket for somebody running the stop sign at the corner of Sierra Highway and Crown Valley Road. And when you go down through underneath that bridge, you better watch yourself real close when you come off that freeway. They don't care. I've seen a lot of people almost get hit.
You know, that Crown Valley Sierra Highway is, you know, we've talked about that for A lot.
And then they always turn over that double line to go in the gas station.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kelly, any comments?
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay.
Pam, were you asking to write a letter as Pam on behalf of the Acton Town Council?
No.
Instead of as an individual?
No, we just decided that I'll do it as an.
We can put that on the agenda for next time.
Yeah.
We don't have enough people here to vote on that, so, but we can agendize it.
Letters as an individual.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Individual letters also help, but yeah, it would be nice for one to be written.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna start with Oscar Gomez too. And also, down at the bottom, the second thing that I noticed is we've got dumping again going on. At the bottom of Ward Road and Escondido, coming home from church yesterday, I saw there was 7 new loads of trash dumped.
Yeah.
Just trash.
It's,
Wow.
there was
The dirt too? Okay.
There was dirt and then one load that was large that looked like tree branches and trash.
Yep, at Ward Road?
At the bottom of Ward Road. Just before you get on Escondido. And then I noticed that somebody had posted on Nextdoor about, more trucks and trash back in town, so.
What can we do, Chuck, or bring some of the pressure back? Because it's kind of a game of whack-a-mole.
Oh, it is, because they were moving out to Little Rock, and I think, DA investigators chased them around out there for a while. So tell me again, I can't place this place, Ward Road, and,
It's the exit off the freeway.
and then
Escondido.
north of the freeway,
No, south.
south of the freeway.
Escondido.
Yeah, it's a road that kind of returns down the hill to Escondido.
To Escondido, and is it right there up against the freeway where that guy was putting the dirt into
Very
his gully?
close, very close, yes. These new 7 loads are on one side of Ward Road. He was dumping into the riverbed
On the other side.
On the other side.
And you said it's mostly dirt, but there's also a pile of tree branches there?
Yeah, there's a large
If
load.
you could send me an email, and I'll tell
Okay,
regional planning and DA's office.
maybe they can clean it up again. They cleaned it up once already.
I'm sure they made the property owner do that, which is a long drawn out.
I think that's probably part of the freeway.
Oh, you think so?
I
Oh, you think
do.
it's on the right way?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, I
send me, if you have any photos, send me those, and that's.
Okay, I
yeah.
did, I took pictures. yesterday.
Okay, yeah, send me those, 'cause
Okay,
sometimes if it's on our county right of way,
I'm pretty
Public
sure,
Works will go out there and clean it.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, yeah, send me the photos, yeah.
Okay, I will do that, Chuck. That's it for me.
You guys remember when we used to have the highway patrol spend a week here writing tickets on the freeway? Does anybody get tired of having to do 75 and 85 and 90 miles an hour just to be able to keep from getting run over?
And that's in the slow lane.
No kidding.
I called them and we have a crew that goes around the LA area and writes tickets to slow them down. I haven't seen them up here in a long time.
Well, the problem is up here, just real quickly, is we need the highway patrol during rush hour. And that's when they're totally tied up with accidents and all kinds of things. Last time they were here, they said there were 600 highway patrolmen below
Yeah.
their level statewide, so it's not an easy solution, okay?
They have increased their presence on Sierra Highway. I mean,
You know, they do that every
Does
once in a
help.
while.
You know-
Then all of a sudden you see them for a while and
Yeah.
then they leave and.
Right, and that's usually because a resident called in and said, hey, come over, and they'll come and they'll spend a day, and
I mean, at least keeps them guessing a little bit, and
Yeah.
Sierra's more populated, closer to houses,
Right.
you could use more, for sure.
well, we're working on getting, Troy Pieper is working, Pieper, that's what he pronounces it,
Mhm.
right?
I think
Pieper.
that's how we pronounce it.
Yeah, he's working on getting highway patrol, presence here at our meetings, so we'll have a spokesperson there, and I think we can give him an earful of that. Okay, disaster preparedness, I know Kelly, you.
I asked for that to be on the agenda because of the scare we had this last 4th of July and Friday, and just got me thinking that we really needed to get that going again. Rob Peters, who was on our council, I think he left about a year ago.
Mhm.
He started a really good manual, which is on our website, and you can find it under community on the website. And it is really good. It goes through and it tells quite a bit of things and how to prepare and, who to call and who to, do all those things, but I just thought as a community, we needed to start putting this back on our agenda to, do a little bit more outreach within the community and teach neighborhoods how to maybe help themselves. Like, I live in the Shannon Valley, so it would be really nice if we could, you know, work out our own little plan kind of thing, and, you know, other areas could work out their own plans. And I think we just need to get some more people back on board and work on that. I don't know what, you know, everybody feels about that, or?
No, I think, yeah, it needs to be addressed. Maybe Troy is gonna be helpful there because of his law enforcement background, and I think Deputy Martinez is definitely proactive.
Proactive on that, yes.
On these kind of things as well. He's actually got the plan. He asked us about it, he downloaded, he read it, so.
One main thing that all the people in Acton should be taught, the women and the kids and the parents, the adults, is how to turn off the gas in their house.
Right, and they do go into that on our website, but, you know, whether you have, you know, regular gas, whether you have propane, you do need to know how to turn it off.
Yeah.
And they
Because that way
do
they
teach
can
that
teach
in
them how.
CERT.
CERT, they teach that, they do
In
teach
CERT,
that in CERT.
But not everybody has gone to the CERT classes
Yeah, I
either.
haven't gone, yeah, so you have to be able to attend them all, I believe.
Yeah, there's
To get certified,
three
yeah.
Saturdays to
Yes.
get certified.
So a lot of places have automatic shut-offs on their gas.
Yeah, some of them do nowadays.
Anybody has a
So once they
smart
say do
meter.
not shut it off because you're,
Yeah.
it's.
I'm sure anybody that has a smart meter or those things,
Yeah.
they probably
So
automatically shut
people
off.
need to know what they've got.
Yes.
So what you're thinking is maybe Troy will head up this,
Well, or at least give us some good
give
ideas.
us ideas.
Right. Okay, but everybody should look at the website
You know,
and look at our things on the website, under community.
Yeah, Rob did a really
We
good
did
job.
a really, really good job, yes.
And that's another thing, if they do store up food and water and stuff, they've gotta rotate it, because it goes bad after a while.
Mhm.
So they need to be reminded to.
Date it.
To date it with a fill pin on it.
Well, you know, it was funny, I went, after our 4th of July parade, I went to Costco the next day. There was no water, no bottled water at Costco. And it was packed,
Mhm.
and people were buying supplies.
Yes.
It's like, well, this is.
Well, you know, we all did that after the '94 earthquake. We all had our
Yeah.
flashlights, we kept our shoes by the bed, we had our food, we had our water, we had everything, and then we just all of a sudden started using it all, and it just kind of, yeah, went by the wayside.
You're not doing this,
That's right.
you're in the parade, like.
Yeah.
20
Yeah.
years later.
Well, you know, it's, earthquakes, there seems to be earthquake weather. I know this is very non-scientific. But they do seem to hit us when we have like these real muggy hot spells for some reason or another. So I would hate to have Edison turn our power off for 72 hours and then have an earthquake and then lose all our food. So when you find food, make sure it's non-perishable.
Yes.
At least a certain amount of it.
Drink
non-perishable.
dehydrated.
Dehydrated.
So all you do is add water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cans too. Cans only good for 6 months, they say though.
But a lot of people,
No,
with
cans are
heart
good
trouble
for quite a few years.
aren't allowed to have salt. And almost
A lot of
every
that's
can
salt.
product there is on the market is full of salt.
That's its preservative.
That's how they make it last so long. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it seems like all those old people now with diabetes and stuff, we all get together and tell each other, go to Walmart, you can buy salt-free ketchup from Heinz, but they charge you more money for it. Or you can go over here and you get this is sugar-free, they sell it over there. And we try to stay in tune with each other so at least we know where to get what we need, because you can spend the whole day reading in one aisle trying to read the labels.
Well, and you know, our only disaster is not just an earthquake, it's fires too. So we have to decide, you know, your exit plans, you know, you've got to know what you're gonna do.
Yeah. Just
And-
feel great.
Yes,
Pay a little more for your insurance.
yes.
And,
so
and you could sleep through anything.
this would probably be
I
a
know.
good thing to go to, you know,
You know,
the wildfires.
It's
Yeah,
kind of funny
please
because I
do.
got the letter from Cal, whatever there's a California earthquake
You can get
insurance,
earthquake
like 2
insurance
days
in this
before the
area.
Oh,
earthquake.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
And plus, we were evacuated during the station fire.
Yes,
And we got the phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning and had to go, and none of us,
you need your
at least
go
in my
bag.
neighborhood.
You know, you need your go bag. You need to be ready to
which we
pick
had
it
no
up.
go bags.
And-
Grabbed the husband and the dogs and out we left.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
All right, drive-through ordinance, regional planning hearing, I think we discussed that already.
Mhm.
You skipped Thousand Trails CUP.
Okay, let's back up, this 1,000 Trails.
I want to ask another question, just for, interrupt you for a minute.
It's about 1,000 Trails?
No, this is about this is about the church's cemetery down there off of,
Okay.
what is it, Aliso? You know, we used to have a once every year cleanup day.
They still do.
Yeah.
Do we still have that?
Still do.
I was wondering if they still did it.
Yes, they do.
They
The only way
advertise
I
it
find
in
out
the
anything being done is if I read the Country Journal.
That's right.
Then
It
usually
comes
it's-
out every
we
Saturday.
miss it. But I was just wondering if they still did that.
They still do
Yes,
that.
they
Yes.
do.
We advertise it whenever they're gonna do one.
Yeah, that was one of the best things that they ever had, as far as I was concerned.
1-800 call Lillian.
So on the 1,000 Trails CUP, have we had any information come back?
No,
Okay, so,
no, yes, and we don't have, I think Jackie thought we might have a quorum here in order
Right.
to, discuss what.
well, last
we
meeting,
want. Yes.
last meeting, we talked about writing a letter to,
Right.
or an email rather, to get a meeting with Chris Perry and possibly the planner
Yes,
for 1,000 Trails.
yes.
Did that go out yet or not? Do we know?
I don't know.
I don't know if that went out.
Okay, so we need to check on
Need to
that.
check on
I
that.
know Jackie was,
I know some dates came in for the,
yeah, when
for the
Chris,
filming CUPs.
yep,
Um,
Chris changed the dates.
Okay, so we need the follow-up meeting with county. I haven't seen any other,
Yeah, we wanted,
correspondence on
and the
that.
planner there.
and the planner.
We wanted the planner there, yeah.
And I think their septic systems might be of great interest, since we just got that letter as well. Okay, so there's not much we can talk about there until we find out what's going on. Drive-through regional planning, so just a quick recap we talked about a little bit. Regional, the county decided they need to clarify the language on what was a new drive-through and what wasn't, and it looks like all that is happening. The hearing is on Wednesday at the Planning Commission downtown, and it doesn't look like anything's gonna change for us. At least not that we could,
Not that we can tell by the,
if it's in between the lines, it's really in there deep.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So-
Not in the, it's not in the motion or anything.
Right.
so you guys are comfortable if we don't go down?
Yeah, because we're not, I mean, I don't see how we can oppose the change as a clarification, I don't see it. So, I don't think we need to support it, I just think we
Give them the letter.
give Jackie's letter, and the only reason we're writing a letter about this, just real quickly, is because the staff report seemed to go a little bit beyond the drive-through language clarification to talk about the 4 drive-throughs and their facilities being conforming or non-conforming, because, and the conformance issues aren't with the drive-through so much, they're with the signage and some other things, so.
I'm always concerned about the planning commission when I'm not sitting there listening to them. Sorry, just my paranoia apparently.
Okay, new or unfinished business?
I have something,
Okay.
I'd like to know what anybody knows about this new septic monitoring fee.
Exactly.
Well,
Right.
I just got a letter about it.
I got mine today.
We did too.
Mm-hmm.
And where does this come from all of a
well,
sudden?
here's Chuck.
Chuck.
So there was, I know there was a meeting that drew more than 100 people here last April, not this April, but April 2018 about this. The board voted to approve it in October. It's new regulations involving what kind of septic tanks and what has to have essentially advanced septic tanks, non-conventional on-site waste treatment systems that have got an alarm to them that says when your septic tank is doesn't have more pollution than it's supposed to, and also has additional, treatment to remove nitrates and nitrogen and, sometimes disinfection. But anyway, so what the letter is about is when the board voted for that back in October, it included a $43 fee on the people who have the non-conventional on-site waste treatment systems, and a $5 annual fee on people which is conventional septic tank systems. That's where, and the $5 fee is supposed to pay for groundwater monitoring to make sure that the groundwater, the well water area isn't getting polluted. So it was all, and it had actually been in the works since 2000. It's been kicking around since.
Yes, it has.
Because the state legislature had passed a bill in 2000 saying they wanted to have more controls on septic tanks, because septic tanks, they said, were allowing pollutants to get into well water areas, so they told the state water regulators to come up with regulations. It's nearly until the first batch of regulations, which took a couple of years to come up with, were so opposed that they started over again. So then state regulations were finally adopted, and they gave the county the ability to take over, all the counties' ability to take over the management of this program. And the county says that our fees are less than the state. The state was gonna be $1,000 for a non-conventional water treatment, non-conventional on-site waste treatment.
All right, I've read that ordinance. I just reviewed it last week.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing anything in there about additional fees, which are essentially additional taxes,
Yeah,
because it's
the
going
$5 and $43 was said last October when they passed it, yes.
$5 for conventional and.
$5 for conventional, which is, I don't know how many conventionals there are. I think every conventional one in the Antelope Valley District, every septic system in the Antelope Valley is a conventional.
Yeah.
Because there's supposedly 900 non-conventional ones in all of LA County, and there's something like 47,000 conventional. So I think it's probably 2% or fewer are the $43.
What classifies it as the non-classified?
The non-conventional ones have got additional treatment. They're not just the, whatever you call the tank thing, the tank and the leach lines. They've got the alarm that says when the stuff that's coming out is not up to standards, and they've got additional treatment. Sometimes there's an extra box with sand in it that will filter through and remove more of the nitrates, but it's just kind of like a fancier.
And that's a $42.
That's $43. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that
We do have
ordinance al-
non-conventional,
So we're paying-
manure
$5.
as one of those, because it didn't pass the perk test.
Well, we've got a
And
copy of
when
it.
it didn't pass the perk test, do you know if it was because it was percolating too fast?
I believe it wasn't percolating fast enough. There's like a layer
And
of
how long
clay.
ago was that this was put in?
That house is probably 10, 12 years old.
So it's that old, okay. I've been trying to find out how many systems up here are, and I don't know.
I don't think there's many.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
And my guess is there's probably 25,000 septic tanks in the Antelope Valley just based on the population of unincorporated areas, which is almost entirely on septic tanks. And just so you know, the main flap that our office is dealing with is a lot of people in Santa Clarita got these letters, even though their homes are on sewers. People in Stevenson ran.
Check into it and make sure it was done properly. The other question is, if they tore down that antique hotel that we had pictures of Teddy Roosevelt standing in front of it, and it was supposed to be rebuilt, and I don't even know where the bricks are at anymore. And it never got rebuilt back on the same site, and that was an historical monument that should have went down in the record books. So there's a lot of things that goes on in Acton. I just shake my head and can't understand who's getting paid off or how it's happening. The tract where I live is all illegal subdivision. It was all supposed to have been asphalt by Gifford. It was never asphalt. He sold the last back property back there. He put 4 meters on a 5-acre lot. He was gonna sell it as 1 1/4 acres until I called the planning department and raised Cain about it, because he wasn't supposed to be able to do that. So he sold it as a 5-acre parcel with 4 meters on it. Now they've got them split down, but yet the ordinance says that they're not allowed to split them down to 1 1/4 acres unless they brought asphalt in, and they didn't do it. So I don't understand what, we have all these ordinances and everything, but I don't understand who's policing it for us. Because evidently, there's a lot of things going on that shouldn't be going on around here.
There is no enforcement of some of the rules, and there is excessive enforcement of others. And it's hard to tell, it's quite random as to what will be enforced and what not.
It's just like driving 80 miles per hour on the freeway.
Yeah.
Some people get caught and other people don't get caught. And probably more people don't get caught than do get caught.
Brandon, do you have a comment?
There's
Well,
not a
what happens
whole lot.
when they get caught and get a red tag, and then all of a sudden the red tag.
Okay, so any other items for
That means the
for next meeting? I've got the septic thing on there, and I think it's gonna
Oh,
dovetail
septic.
in with the
Yes.
letter that
We
or the work we're doing with Agua Dulce.
Yeah, I think so. Apollo Park,
No
Apollo
one
Park.
got those
Fish and
letters.
Game, directional signs, septic, and I don't know if you want to put the disaster back on, or we just need to make sure that we get somebody on that.
Right, well, it should be
Yeah.
on the committee.
It should be on the committee
Right.
next time, so we should be fine.
I'll get the disaster ready.
All
Okay.
right,
What was the
about
fourth
the
one?
next agenda?
Chuck has something to say.
Oh, I was gonna say, are you, regarding the real estate signs,
Oh, real estate.
GABAR has got a meeting coming up, a breakfast meeting this week regarding real estate signs, are you aware of that?
No, but Gabar is mostly worried about their own Palmdale, Lancaster area.
You guys aren't part of GABAR?
Yes, we are, but they don't
Because
really.
they've got, the county code enforcement people are speaking, Lancaster code enforcement people are speaking, and Palmdale code enforcement speaking.
Seriously, okay.
Yeah, I don't have the date in front of me, I can't remember, I got it out in the car, I can give it to you. It's
Okay.
either Wednesday or Thursday at the Hellenic Center at 8 o'clock, but I can't remember which
Okay,
one. I'll get it to you.
I'll go to that.
Probably is, yeah.
What did you say, Brent?
I'm pretty sure it's Thursday.
Remember when we had breaks?
Okay.
The lady
I'll get you a
that-
letter.
I was just gonna say a couple things. The septic
Tear
letter,
them down.
no one that I know of got the septic letter and said, oh yeah, that meeting a year and a half ago. Everybody was like, felt like they'd been blindsided. So
Yeah,
that's
sure.
the one thing. So
Yeah.
somebody along the line did not do their job in terms of making sure the public, you know, is aware of what's going on. Second, people are not so much worried about the fact that it's $5. Oh, it's only $5, but that's right now. What could happen next year or 5 years down the line? They could start making it, well, you can now gotta have it inspected every 2 years like they do in Malibu. They have to have inspections for that. You have to call in a contractor to actually unearth and do the proper. So it leaves people wondering, okay, our little private property and our little private wells, and pretty soon you're gonna have,
You
people
sell your
leasing
property
them.
right
So I
away.
think the bigger
I'm
picture.
sure that's
Yeah.
happening, especially if there's,
And then
if
you-
there's nitrates get into the well water, yes, I'm sure, I got no doubt that that's one. And I wondered if Malibu is where most of the non-conventional treatment
I know,
systems are right now.
Probably.
And that's exactly what I heard from the community, what
Right.
Irene just said.
Yes.
The people that called me were concerned, what's the future, where is this gonna go, and
You add to that the sustainability plan, which is gonna not allow people to build on their own pieces of property that they may have had for years and have been planning to build on, because they can't drill a well and they can't come up to the water levels, what is it, the gallons
Well,
per,
you're-
whatever. And pretty soon, what happens is you devalue the land overall to such a degree that people aren't gonna be able to sell it, and they're not gonna be able to build on it. So it leaves people wondering, it's like, what is in store for the future? So,
Well-
I think the reason I came was just to see if we can start throwing that on the table.
And you know, the Association of Rural Town Councils had already raised just that objection about.
Yeah, I know, and they're
Which has
actually-
not been adopted, so, yeah.
I know,
Well,
I know.
Acton
So
has raised.
there's
And then there's,
what government
and then
computer
there's
policy.
measurement W, don't get me started,
Well,
half
that's what you
cents.
guys are gonna do. Most of about it.
I know, and it's all gonna hit us on our property taxes,
Is
so.
there any chance of finding out who's driving all of this? Because one thing after another is
Zeitgeist,
It's like
it's just the
a
zeitgeist,
vice
it's the general
being seized
atmosphere.
on us.
So the septic tank stuff was out of the state legislature, like I said, that was
the
19.
county always uses the state as an excuse.
Well,
and
that's
not
who did it, so, that's who did it. The sustainable, Measure W, that was lawsuits that drove that about pollution getting down the LA River and the San Gabriel River,
And they
the
want
ocean.
everybody to pay for it, even if we don't have any water going down
Yeah, we
Well-
don't
to
have,
the river.
we
But,
don't have,
Your stuff goes into the ocean somehow, but anyway.
no,
no, ours goes into the permeable land and adds into the
Ours
water table,
stays
gets
here.
filtered
Right,
through.
river goes to the ocean, but anyway, and so, and then the sustainability plan, I don't know, I think that was brought on by continuing worry about wildfires in the urban wild interface zone. Houses that are built up on the hillsides, and that's what's burning up around California in the last few years. I think that's what drove that. Just kind
So
of fear
Acton
of
and
it.
Agua Dulce and other unincorporated fire hazard areas are all going to be relegated to open space. You get rid of all the houses, you take it over.
Who said they're gonna get rid of all the houses?
Well, you know, you have to look at what
The
the
bigger
progression
picture, right.
of
Yeah.
activity is. And if you devalue all the property and people can't sell it, and they start walking away and the county takes it over for taxes, and what do you think is going to happen?
That's
They
not-
will
yes,
turn it
they-
over to developers who will bring in water and sewer and have high density development here, which is what
But
the
that's what
county
they said they
wants.
don't want. They don't want high density
Please.
built out in these areas.
I have been
Yeah.
told by regional planners for years, I mean, back when I started the Journal in the 90s, that this area is just waiting to develop, and it's just a matter of time. And that's what
Well,
regional
that's what they
planning,
believed in the 90s, but.
well, they still
But now
believe
they're
it.
trying to put a stop to that or slow it
Wait,
down
wait a
because they
minute.
said,
We
oh,
already
look,
have-
there's houses all over the place and it's really expensive and it takes a long time for sheriff's deputies to get there. And there's high fire danger there and there's no sewers.
So squeeze everybody out, that's the solution?
No, I'm saying that.
Because
they
I'll tell you what
told to go down-
happens is people squeeze the governments out occasionally.
You know, Shannondale's getting ready to put 1,300
Doesn't
houses
happen a lot,
up
but
over the
it's
top of the
known to
mountain.
happen.
Acton.
Isn't that amazing?
All right, you know what, we spent a lot of time at the last meeting talking about this, the septic and the fact that Acton and some of Agua Dulce is getting blamed for some of the problems that end up in Santa Clarita, although many of those problems have been there well for many years. So this whole thing about the septic, we're gonna be talking about this ad nauseum probably for months to come. So it'll be on the next agenda, so if you're interested. And we're gonna be working with Agua Dulce Town Council on how to explain to the county that most of these problems aren't coming from us. They make statements, but they don't have any proof to back it up. And, you know, maybe part of this ordinance is gonna allow them to do some testing and they'll find that out and everything will be fine, or maybe not. But, so we'll be working on that on the next.
Two things for you to think about on that. You know down there where Timmy Hedren used to have our animals, that all dumps into the river right there, and they got all kinds of pollution coming from those animals, worms and everything else in the water. And the animal rehabilitation up above, all their sewage for their animals goes into that riverbed. And nobody says anything about that.
I would think that Tippy would have some sort of
Yeah.
The animals run right in the water down there, the tigers and the lions. I went down there and fixed her well for her. And they just
don't run in the river,
They
they're
don't run
on
in the river.
cages.
They got the fences right into the river for their cages.
I've been there.
Not anymore. Okay, I think,
Do we have an
It's
ordinance on
adjournment time.
junipers?
Do we have what?
An ordinance on junipers, cutting them down?
no. We have a policy, but we don't have an ordinance.
Good to know.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna adjourn, if there's nothing else for the next meeting, I'm going to adjourn at 8:05. Thank you, everybody.
Lily.